Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I welcome you to my new amazing project AI chatbot. This is our third project on our React series. So in this series we are going to build a AI chatbot using Google Gemini API, and I will show you how our project is going to work. So let's refresh our project. So here it, you can give the input what is AI or what is React, then press enter or click on this button to send the message. Loading is showing, you can see that, and after the loading we got the response. You can see that what is React is a javascript library for building user interface. So let's ask another question, what is npm. So when you ask what is npm, so before getting response it's showing the loader, and when we got the response the loader disappear, and you can see that we got the response from Google Gemini. What is a package manager? So node package manager, you can see that runtime node.js, so you can install. So these are the details we got from the Google Gemini API. So you know what is Google Gemini. So this is the Google Gemini. So let's see. So this is the Google Gemini. Whatever the you ask, that thing it will respond. So in this we are going to use the API key of the Google Gemini API key. So for that you search Gemini API. When you search Gemini API, you will get this first link, AI dot this AI studio dot google dot dev. You can see that. After that, learn more about Gemini API. Click here, and if you not sign in, please sign in and get API key in Google AI Studio. Click here. After that you will redirect you to this page. Then here click create API key, and here you can fill the your select the projects and create API. So it will create. So I've already created two API key, and you can delete this API key also, and it is free of charge. And here is the response JSON. I will explain you in the code, so you know how to get the API key, and I will show you how to make this application using Google Gemini API. So let's get started with our project. So come to our VS Code. So to set up our React app, first I'll show you what we should to do. So first of all we have to run this command one by one. So first run npx create react app AI chatbot. So first you have to open a VS Code or any code editor. After that we have to create a new folder on wherever you want. So here I created a new folder, and then you have to import it to here. And after creating new folder and then import, you go to open a new terminal, and in this terminal we have to run all the commands. So here you can type the command npx create react app. So I'm not going to do that, you have to do in your desktop. So write npx create react app, and after that name of the app is AI chatbot. You can write any name here. Then here after creating we have to change our directory. So our the directory will be new folder. So to move to our AI chatbot folder we have to change the directory. So cd AI chatbot. After that we have to install axios to fetch the data from API, and react icons for the icons. That after that we have to install the react icon that we are going to use in our project, which you can see that the this icon we have used here. So we have to install Axios and React icon both. Then we have to install Tailwind CSS and Post CSS autofixer. So you can install this also. Then we have to initialize our Tailwind CSS. So Tailwind is init -p. So here you can write npm I react markdown. So we are going to use React markdown. I will show you why we are using React markdown. I will show you. And here we use I for installation. You can write install or I. So both are the same thing. So after that we have to this copy this and paste it in our tailwind config.js. I'll show you. So when you install all the packages, you will get this tailwind config.js after initializing our tailwind. So how to initialize? After installing this tailwind CSS, here you can see that, and we have to initialize tailwind in it. So we will get this, and here we have to paste our this code that I have shown you. So this code we have to paste. After that we have to paste this @tailwind base component utils to our index.css. So here is the index.css. Here I pasted. So you can go to the this website also tailwind.css. You can see that how to set up tailwind css. So go to tailwind css docs. So here we have installation and using post css. You can see that the same command we have used. You can see that, and this tailwind config.js configuration we are going to copy and paste, and here that main css that this we have to copy in our index.css, which will found in our code index.css in src folder. You can see that the src folder. So these are the simple steps to set up our React app, and all these packages Axios, React icon, Tailwind CSS, React markdown we are going to use to make our app look and feel better. So before that, if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe and share. So let's get started with our project. After doing all these commands and setup, we will get all these files, and in this file we have to make our changes to app.js only. So in app.js we are going to write our all code to make our AI chatbot. So in this app.js we have to import React and use state from React. So that why you use state to set the changes, like whatever the changes we are going to make, so that changes we are going to store. So what is use state? If you don't know, you can go to React. If you search react.dev, search here use state. After that, use state is a React hook that state variable. So like we use let in our JavaScript, similarly we use state in our React to manage the state. So you can see that all the details about use state. If you don't know, please go and learn it from here. After that, we have imported the paper plane. This icon I have shown you, this icon, send button icon, that is importing from React icons. So how you will got the React icon? Search React icons and in search, go to this website. Here search paper plane. So this you can see that we have import, and this command we are going to use in our VS Code. After that, we have to install React Markdown. I will show you why we are using React Markdown. So when you go to the npm search React Markdown, or you can write React Markdown npm. React Markdown. So search React Markdown, you'll get this npm website. Go to here, and here we have a npm I install React Markdown that I've shown you all the dependency and packages we are going to install. So this React Markdown we are going to use in a project, and why we are using this I will tell you soon. So here we have imported Tailwind CSS and app.css. After that we have our app component. So this app component, we have a use state with message and set message, and that messages whatever the message I will show you here, the user message and the bot response. Both message we are going to store in a array. So here we have a in use state we have a array, and it is a empty. So to set the messages and whatever the changes, we are going to use state for our messages and to maintain the state. And after that we have a input. So whenever the user will input any text, so that state we have to also manage. So for that also we are going to use state. Then for loading, when we have to show the loading, when we have to not to show the loading, so for that also we are going to manage the state of our loader. So that's why we are using use state. So initially our loading will be false, so here loading, set loading, and use state false. These are the simple use state we are going to use. Then in our app component we have a handle message, and in this handle message we are going to perform a async operation. So this is the JavaScript part. So when you don't know this, learn JavaScript, then watch this video. Then in this asynchronous we are going to trim our input. So if user have pressed the white space like something and this white space, so it will going to trim it. So for that the user input will be trimmed. This is the input variable that this we are going to use here. So to track the changes we are going to use this input variable, and this input variable we are going to trim here. And in this trim we have a, after trimming the new messages will be stored. So whatever the user will message, we are going to use spread operator to store the all the messages in our array. So here we have a message is state, so we are going to store in an array. So that array we are going to store in a through a spread operator. So whatever the message will be there, it will be stored. We are going to store not one message, there are lot of messages the user will ask to the bot, and that bot will respond. So that text will be input. So whatever the text user, what is react here it asks, so that is that text will be input. So input whatever the user will input here in the input box, that will be stored here. Then here who is going to set the user is true. So this is the message we are going to store for the user. Similarly we will store for the here bot also. So I will tell you soon. Here the set message new message, so whatever the user will message, so here what is react, then we ask the what is npm. So these are the messages, it's not disappearing, it is in our this div only. So this we are not changing, so this is stored. So who is going to store, set message equal to new message. So using use state we are going to set our state. So this should not be appear, it should be there. So this message will be appear down here, you can see that. So that's why we are using use state. Then when the user will message, so the set input will be empty. So when I'll ask what is API, so when I'll ask, so this message will be gone on the right side of the div, and this input box will be disappear. See, sorry, the input box will be empty, and here it's telling could not get response from API. So I think we have made any changes. So let's refresh it. So let's ask again. So it's working fine, you can see that we got the response. So when you ask any other what is API, so when you press enter, the message will go on the right side of the div, and this input box will be empty. So you can see that the input box is now empty, and the loader is showing, and it got the response. What is API? API stands for application programming interface. And after that we are going to use try and catch to handle the errors. So now, just now we have seen that we don't got any response due to some error. So that error we are going to hold with this catch error. So this we are going to, so here we have a starting the loader is false. You can see that no loader is showing right now. When the loader will show, when the not got response from the API. So that time we have to show our loading. So when user will ask anything what is npm, so now user has asked, but before that why it's not so getting the response. So this sometimes come error, so that error is going to handle using try and catch. What is react? So we ask what is react, we have not got the response. So before not got that any response, so it will show the this loader. So when you got the response, it will show the response, and before that it was showing the loading. So for that the set loading is true, means loader will show. So here setting the state of the loader. So in react we are managing the state using use state. So now we have a const response. In this we are going to use await. So why we are using await? These are the concept of javascript, you can go and learn. So await is used that when we got this response, then we are going to run this statement, the below line of code. So we are going to use axios to get the data, and we can use fetch also, but here we are going to use axios, and here we are using post method because we are asking something from the Gemini API. So that's why we are using post. So this is the Gemini URL. I will show you. You can see that this is the Google Gemini API key, and in this you can go and create API key. After creating API key, we will get this thing below down. So here it will show the post method it is going to use, and this is the link that we have pasted in our this VS code, this link. And in place of here we have your API key, you can see that. So here when you create API key, copy the API key and paste it here, your API key. So in this place we have to paste our API key. After pasting our API key, here in content we have a parts text explain how AI works. So here we have to mention what we are going to ask from the bot. So here we pass input. Why we pass input? Because whenever the user will ask something, that input in that input field, that text we are going to ask from the bot, the Google Gemini API. So we are pass the input. So whenever the user will ask something, that thing will be appear here in the text. It will be in the text, and that text will be asked from this Google Gemini API, and that Google Gemini API will respond to us. So let's get the response. So here we have a bot response. We have stored in this const, and here you can see that we have got the response and we have stored in response. So from that response we are going to get the text from the response. So initially the response will be in the form of JSON file. I will show you. Console dot log response. So let's save it and open inspect element, console, clear all this up. Let's ask something. What is AI? So still we not got the response. So let's wait and get this. So you can see that we got the response in the console.log, and in this we have a some JSON file. So you can see that inside the data where we have to go. I'll show you. Here it's showing data candidate content part, data candidate. Where is the content part? Data candidate content part, and in this part we got the text. So this text also, wait. So this text AI, a simple explanation on AI. So you can see that this text we have to show in our response. Here it's showing the response. I'll show you what is AI. So here it is. So AI simple explanation. So you can see that AI simple explanation, AI artificial. The same text is appearing on our console and the in our application also. You can see that AI is everywhere. So you can see that this text API. So AI is everywhere. So this text we have to show in our app. So where our text it is in? It is in data. Inside the data we have a candidate. In the candidate we have content and candidate at 0. So we have shown you candidate at the 0 index. So candidate at 0 index. Then content, inside content we have part, and in the part we have the 0 index, and in this 0 index we have a text. You can see the 0 index we have a text. So this thing we have written, and through this thing we got the text, and that text we are going to store in the this const, this text, and that this text we have to show here. So set loading false. So we got the response. So we have to set the loader false, so it will not show the loader. And after that we have just set the message with the new message using a spread operator, and text equal to bot response. So before the text equal to user text. So here we have a user text, what is AI, and then bot response text. So here we have a bot response text. After that user is false. So here the response we got, this is not from the user, that is from the bot. So here we have a user false. Then we have a catch. So we are using catch to catch the error, because we have seen just now that we got the error from the API. So that time it will show error sending message. So when the when a user is sending something and that has been some error, that time it will show this message, and, and loading will be false. So that time the loading will be false because we have not sent the message to the user, and that message we got that some response has some, sorry, the user has been sended some message, right? That time we got some error, user is unable to send the message, so that time it will show this error, right? And loader will be false. And another set message, so message will be new messages, so that message will be stored, it will not disappear. So here the before I'll show you. So this above message it does not disappear, and when you ask the could not get response from AI. So if any error will be there from the AI side, then it will show the this error. You can write your own custom text, and user is false. So when the user text, when we send some message, that time it will show this error, and when the error from the response from the bot side, then it will show this error, right? Now come for styling our div. So here you can see that the beautiful div. So in this beautiful div we have getting all the response. So let's see, here we have a, in return we have a div, and in this div we have some styling, flex column, justify content center, and item center. Height is the height of the screen, that, and then the background from this color code to this color code. So you can see that in background we have some color. So these are the simple css we are going to use through Tailwind css. If you don't know Tailwind css, please learn it. Then we have a h1 tag. In h1 tag we have some style, margin bottom, font bold, text size, drop, shadow, and we have a text color. So here in this we have AI chatbot text, so this text, so we can style using Tailwind css. Then another div, so in another this div we have some style, and in this div we have another div for the message. So we have seen that the two div, one div for the message, one div it will be the input. I'll show you. So in this we have a messaging, mapping our message. So whatever the user will message, that we are going to map. So when the user is sending something, that is in the right side, and the response from the left side, and some text, some, so it is in coming in a proper way. So for that we are going to use map. So if, so here I ask what is AI, so here we got the AI response. So here we have what is API. So here it should not be like this response is above, see this response is something else, so this is user message is somewhere else. So it should be in proper way. So for that we use map for each message, and we have to use index. So why we use index? So always use a key when we are using map in the React. So always use a key. So here using index as a key. So here we have a class name. So why you use class name? For styling. So in CSS, Tailwind CSS we use class name for styling. So our our message user. So justify in, justify start. So what is this meaning? Also here when the user will send the message, it should be in right side. So and the response from the left side, right? Justify in, justify start. So when the message from the user, so when the user will message, the the text will be in the justify in from the right, it will be in the right side. when the it from the bot side, it will be justify start, so it will show from the starting, so it is shown from the left side. So that style we have used for the message, and it should be in flex, so it is in a flex, so flex property. So here we have another div. So in this also we have a style, some overflex, some here we have a rounded flex wrap. So here we have written message user, and this style we are using in backtick. You can see that it is below the escape button. So the backtick, in this backtick we have writing this condition that if message user, so here the message user we send the that text to right side, that is justifying, and when the it from the bot it should be in left side. And similarly when it is from the user, so background will be blue. You can see that the color of the background from the user, and when it is from the bot, so it something looking like this. So when we change the bot gray to 900, so see how it's looking. So see, but it's looking ugly. So let's save it. So you see that this color should be, and here we have used react markdown. So this is the main part I'll show you. When I remove markdown, how our response will show from the bot. So let's see. So see how it's looking. Some has star, has star, star, star. So see how it's looking. It's looking ugly. So it unreadable for the human beings. So when I apply markdown, so it is now in proper way. So any human can read. So whatever the message text will be there from the response from the bot or from the user. So that should be in a proper way. So it will remove all the hash star from that text. So we use markdown, that I have shown you how to install the markdown. So from the npm I react markdown, and after that we have a written the loading condition. So if it is loading, then show this tip. So this is the we are waiting for the loader, those three circle and shadow. I'll show you what is what is bot. So when he asks, so three circle and the below we have a shadow, and it's animating beautifully. So for that we have written this some HTML type. So this is not the, you can see that we used to write in HTML like this. So you can go and search any react load, any loaders CSS, so you'll get many loader. You can go and just paste it the this code, copy the CSS and paste it in our code, and you can use, and when it will show, then the loading will be true. This is the loading variable that we have declared in this use state. You can see that. So with this condition we are going to use loading. So after that we have another div. So in this div we are going to show our input box and the send button. So in this we have some styling, padding, border, border gray, flex, and in this we have input type text. These are the simple things that you know earlier. So here we have some styling class name. In this we have border, rounded LG, flex, and in placeholder type your message. So you can see that, and then we have a we have a value equal to input. So what, so we have a value, so whatever the value it should be in the input. So here input, whatever the user will type, that should be stored in the input value. And on change, what function we are going to execute, we are going to use this event on change set input equal to target dot value, e dot target dot value. To get the user value, we use e dot target dot value. So e means event, so when any user changes something, that value will be stored in the set input, and that set input will be asked from the user when the handle message, this handle message function will be work. So that time it will show. So that input value we are going to get and set to the input variable, and that input variable, and the user will press the enter key. So when e dot key equal to enter, so when you press enter key in your keyboard, this handle message will be, so this handle message function here you can see that will work. So when you press enter, it will go to here, this here you can see that. And another, for the button also we have a button, the paper plane button. So you can see that the send button. So we have some styling, and on click we have a, what we want to do, handle message function should be work. So in handle message function we have written this all these things, so that thing will work. So we have written this fa paper plane. So I have shown you before, this fa paper plane we have to copy paste it here in our code, and it will show the icon. So after that we have a export default app. So that app nothing to do with, it is already set up when you install the packages. So and for the loader that I have shown you here, so these are the simple dips, right? So for styling I have used some style already. So here wrapper class, you can see that the wrapper class, circle and shadow class. So this class I have used here for styling with the normal CSS styling. You can see that some line of code of CSS to loop the our loader. So this CSS and this all this code I will upload on our GitHub. You can go and check it out and try this project in your laptop. So hope you guys like the video, subscribe the channel, and don't forget to share with your friends. So thanks for watching. We'll meet in next video with a new amazing project of React. So thank you.